Now, the UK government has confirmed its plan to scrap parts of the Northern Ireland Protocol put in place as part of the post-Brexit trade agreement. Foreign Secretary Liz Truss told MPs that the Brexit trade agreement was straining relations between London and Belfast. The Democratic Unionist Party have refused to form a government with Sinn Féin over its concerns about the deal. Experts fear this move could trigger a trade war with the EU. I'd like to bring in Simon Usherwood, who is a Professor of Politics and International Studies at the Open University. Professor Usherwood, many thanks for joining us. Boris Johnson says he wants to fix the Northern Ireland Protocol. The EU says there's nothing to fix. In your view, is there any common ground left between the two sides?
I think there is. The problem is primarily one of the ordering of priorities, that the EU thinks that the UK hasn't really fully explored what's possible within the treaty as it stands now, the protocol, whereas the UK says that the EU isn't willing to consider options outside of the treaty and it wants a renegotiation. So I think we have a bit of a confused picture at the moment, but certainly there is scope for some kind of rapprochement between the two sides. The difficulty will be that trust is rather low. All the talk, as you mentioned, from Liz Truss and from others about domestic legislation to disapply or annul parts of the protocol go down very badly with the Commission and with EU member states.
Yes, exactly. I mean, the UK's Attorney General has given the green light to override parts of the protocol and replace it with British law. Does this break international law, or is there precedence for this?
We haven't seen the Attorney General's reasoning on this, and I've yet to meet any legal scholar who thinks that there is a case that would stand up under international norms. The UK signed up to the protocol. It raised no objections at the time. There's no obvious reason to think that this was done under any kind of duress. So the UK, by any standard, is bound to what it signed up to. And I think that this is where the crux of the matter comes, that it doesn't seem to be willing to try and find the flexibility within the text that it has. And I think that that's going to be really where Liz Truss is hoping she'll get some movement, that by talking tough, by talking about moving away from this, she might avoid the need to do that by getting the EU to actually try and make some more flexibilities.
If a solution can't be found, and the UK actually did go ahead and triggered Article 16 as it's threatened, the result could be a trade war. Neither side can really afford that, can they?
No, they can't. And I think, Article 16 is one way of a temporary suspension, but that takes you back to the negotiating table, which is where both sides say they want to be. But the EU certainly has a lot of options to hand in terms of trade restrictions, extra checks at the border, for example, between France and the UK, other restrictions on fisheries, things like that, which it could use very selectively to really turn up the pressure on London to come back to what the EU would say should be its senses. So I think this is the problem, is that at the end of the day, the only solution to this that's likely to be lasting and durable is some kind of negotiated solution. And all the talk of acting tough, going it alone, or indeed of trade wars, is not really conducive to that. So I think we've got a very difficult patch ahead before we get to anything like a lasting solution for this.